know the issues. We know about energy. We know about the border. We know Joe Biden doesn't know what he's doing. We know all that. We get all that. But why do this? Why do this here tonight with Legacy PAC? Because there's a whole lot of people who have the passion to save this country who need help getting off the ground.
The purpose of Legacy PAC is to save America. That's our mission. That's what we really want to do because America's worth saving.
I am by trade, I'm a cybersecurity engineer. Okay, so this is my first run in politics. We need more conservative Republicans standing up and fighting for the Constitution.
We're an America First PAC, and we want to promote and help our up-and-coming candidates, and we're going to be holding the line for President Trump.
I joined the Army at 17 years old. My first day at my first unit, which was 25th Infantry, was September 10th, 2001. So the next day was 9/11. And I spent about a total of a decade between Iraq and Afghanistan in country. So my country means everything to me. When I realized that if people like myself who don't want to be politicians don't start stepping up and taking these seats, that nothing's going to change, then I said, okay, I'll do it.
Who deserves to lead the people of this country more than those who serve this country? So I'm behind every one of them. So let's make sure we get more veterans into power. I'm all for it.
Remember why you're involved. We have to make sure people remain humble and not engage in self-glorification. You are here for one reason, and that is to save the country. Period. End of story.
And for those candidates who are looking uphill and wondering how, keep your head down, focus on the target, and outwork everybody. And I promise you, you're not gonna lose. You're either gonna win on election night or you change the game on election night. So God bless you guys. Thank you so much, Legacy PAC.
Thank you, Legacy PAC.
And Stan, where's Stan? Stan is with Veterans for Trump.
Thank you, Martha.
Thank you all. We're honored. I know there are so many organizations represented here today.
You're saying here too much, but you're going to do very well. And I just had somebody write down. First of all, James and Sarah Pritchard, thank you very much. Yes, great job. Thank you. We appreciate all the help. Stanley and Donna Fitzgerald.
Right here, sir.
Thank you very much. It's great. It's great that you're with us. Mike Acton.
Hi, this is Stan Fitzgerald with Veterans for Trump, and I'm here with Chuck Hand, who's running for Congress in Georgia District 2. Good morning, Chuck. How are you today, sir?
Pretty good. Good morning, Mr. Stan. How you doing?
We're doing okay. Busy, but so are you. And I see from the background images there, you're at a work site, which I was going to ask you about. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about your background?
I've been in the construction industry pretty much my entire adult life. Currently, I'm a new construction superintendent, where I organize and oversee the building process of new construction homes.
So you're not a politician, you build things, and you're in your own business. Boy, that sounds very familiar to a certain president that we like.
Right.
Chuck, tell us about your platform for Congress. What are some of the issues you're running on?
I mean, everyday folks issues, inflation, the cost of goods. We got to stop indoctrinating our kids. We got to have more faith in our government again. Our federal government has become untrustworthy and a joke, to common working class folks like myself. The left would say that I align directly with the Trump policies.
Well, that's a good thing if the left is hitting you with that down in southern Georgia. So that's where you want to be. Chuck, you have a unique situation. And from what I understand, there's one other person running for Congress that's in your situation. You and your wife were arrested on January 6th, later for a peaceful protest on January 6th. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
March the 11th, 2022. That's when they finally showed up at our home. The FBI sent think it was like a dozen armed agents to our home at like 6 o'clock in the morning to raid us. They took us in, booked us, arrested us, all that good stuff. And I mean, it took about a year before we finally was able to have a court date, and get sentenced for this. Dude, and I tell you too, the judge even told us at our sentencing, that we're good folks, that they know we didn't do anything wrong. We were peaceful protesters on that day. But the reason that the judge told us that he had to incarcerate us was to make an example so that you wouldn't do what I did. I mean, they're just two-tier justice system to the T.
How ironic is that? And if you could get a copy of those court transcripts, I think you should attach them to your campaign website just as a suggestion, because the judge said, quote, "I know you're good people and you didn't do anything wrong," or something along that line. This is just, and the irony is we have rioters that are clearly Democrats burning down cities, and that justice system told you they needed to make an example of you, yet no one's made an example of when it's the Democrat mobs doing it. I mean, is that correct? Is that a safe statement to go with?
I was reading an article yesterday where New York's giving out, like, they had a 13-point-something million settlement in a lawsuit where BLM rioters who were met with police force have came together with a class action lawsuit and sued the NYPD, and they won. Well, I mean, make it make sense to me, and federal prison. My wife thrown in Tallahassee with Ghislaine Maxwell, for holding my hand and walking through the Capitol.
Yeah, it's not even, I don't have words to express how wrong this all is, what happened to you and so many other people. Now, obviously, some people deserved to get arrested, but even in that case, there's definitely a two-tier justice system. Democrats that deserve to get arrested don't. So, in living in Georgia now for 15 years, I know the people of Georgia do not like this, not one bit. And even Governor Kemp, who's known for feuding with our president, put out a statement on Fox News just a couple days ago condemning the indictments of being baseless, and said he would support the president as the nominee. So, I mean, when the governor of Georgia, who's for years has fought with the president, comes out and against the weaponization of the government, it tells you something in Georgia. And Chuck, and you represent, in my opinion, the embodiment of patriots fighting against the weaponization of government. I mean, you have FBI agents that are whistleblowers that were fired from the FBI. You have, J6 people like yourself, and Ashley Babbitt's mom is a big out there all the time talking about this to keep awareness. So enough about that. Tell us a little bit more about how you see going forward and your plans for Georgia, and then we'll sign off at that point.
Well, I mean, let me start by saying that my decision to run for office stems from the urgent need, to direct our nation away from its current trajectory of skyrocketing expenses, extensive government interference, the indoctrination of our youth. Frankly, I'm outraged by the state of our country. And like we talked about, the tipping point came when my wife and I experienced firsthand the unjust nature of our system. Detained and separated for nearly 7 weeks by the federal government simply for exercising our right to peacefully protest. So I felt an unwavering inner drive, and seeking divine guidance through prayer and reflection, grateful for the opportunity here. And now I'm determined to utilize this platform to raise awareness and can contribute towards the steering of our country back to a more righteous and prosperous path. The truth is our district's been under Democrat control for 150 years now. And as a result of that, we're one of the poorest districts in the nation. So, like I like to say, pray, work, and fight. I've prayed to God about what to do and to receive his guidance. And what I've received in those prayers is don't complain, work to be the change that's needed, and in doing that, we're going to fight. this two-tier justice system. We're going to fight against this corrupt federal government. I think the biggest challenge we're going to have down here in the 2nd District is prying away some of the ag support that Sanford Bishop has held on to all these years, because he has done so much for the ag community. And a bunch
For
of
for our viewers that might not know the lingo, he's talking about the agriculture farmers and such.
and like I said, our biggest challenge is going to be putting together a message to translate to the ag community of, we're going to do the same thing for y'all that Sanford Bishop has been doing, minus the indoctrination, minus voting for restrictions on our Second Amendment. We want the farmers' kids to be able to have kids, not put forth these pro-abortion policies and all. I'm more pro-life. So, we want the farmers to have grandkids to carry on their traditions and all. We're going to be a friend to the farmer, the same way that Sanford Bishop has, but without the bull crap that D attached to him brings. Because as you know, he's 100% of the time votes for the Biden administration.
Right.
We all know that's been a joke of an administration.
Well, I mean, that's a problem. The indoctrination and the mindset, and people don't understand the policies, but all you got to do is look around. It's destroyed your district, being under Democrat control. So God willing, we will have you or another Republican in office there to turn that ship around. So Chuck, campaigns take money. How could people find your website and donate to you?
What you can do, what we're asking folks to do right now is invest a small amount, the equivalent of the federal minimum wage. That's what we're asking for right now, $7.25. If you can donate that minimum wage to our campaign, you can hire hand today at chuckhandforgeorgia.com.
Well, there you have it, folks. Let's hire hand. $7.25 is not much to ask. So please visit his website. And thank you, Chuck, for your time. Tell your wife we said hello, and our prayers going to you, sir, for the wrongful conviction that you faced. And we'll talk again soon.
Thank you, Mr. Stan. I appreciate you having me.
You're welcome. Take care, my friend.
Thank you.